Happy Friday, Crypto Bullseye community. We've got lots to talk about today and I hope you're all getting ready for the weekend. So we've got lots of chart requests by you, our community. We'll be going over your altcoins. I'm going to be going over Bitcoin. We'll be going over the state of the market in a higher time frame and a shorter time frame. And we've got an NFT giveaway. So I hope you're going to enjoy the episode, guys. Let's get into it. So it's Friday, it's Community Day, it's your day. We've got Bitcoin news, we've got Bitcoin technical analysis, we've got altcoin requests by our community, we've got an NFT giveaway, we've got news on Luna 2.0, so stay tuned, we've got lots to talk about today. Starting with Bitcoin news. And this article that I found on CoinDesk sums it up quite nicely. And this article was printed on the 26th of May 2022, so that's yesterday. Updated 6:38 yesterday, and it's basically saying Bitcoin sees weakness at 29,000 as traders assess Fed minutes. The largest cryptocurrency dropped below support level in the past 24 hours before recovering. So Bitcoin temporarily lost, then recovered above the 29,000 level support in the European trading hours on Thursday, setting the tone for other major cryptocurrencies to run too. So the price dipped following a relatively positive market response to Wednesday's release of the minutes of the US Federal Reserve, and the S&P rallied 1%, the tech-heavy Nasdaq ended the day 1.91% higher, and the European stock 600 and Germany's DAX both gained around 0.4% on Thursday. So we've got the chart on Bitcoin there. We'll go over that into a little bit more detail next. The minutes showed the agency was willing to be flexible on plans to increase rates and tighten monetary policy. Previously, Chair Jerome Powell said the Fed would take an aggressive stance, which traders feared would lead to inflation. The Fed raised the official US interest rate by 0.5% earlier in May, and it plans to reduce the size of its balance sheet by $47.5 billion a month for 3 months, and up to $95 billion a month starting in September, as previously reported. So they're saying inflation's too high, and we understand the hardship that it's causing. So this is what Powell's saying. We're moving expeditiously to bring it back down. At the time, the comments contributed to a fall in broader markets and spread to cryptocurrency. So US inflation surged to its highest in 4 decades, is closely tracked by Bitcoin traders because the asset is seen as a hedge against rising consumer prices. So that's got a deflationary mechanism built into it, which I'm talking about Bitcoin, whereas we know that fiat currency's got an inflationary mechanism built into it. So Bitcoin, however, remains bearish. It's lost its value for each of the past 8 weeks. It's first in history. It's the first time in history that it's lost 8 weeks in a row, while futures and options data indicate traders are positioning for a further drop, and we'll talk about that next. So an indicator tracking portfolio hedge reached a 12-month high this week, while yields on a popular trade involving Bitcoin and Ether fell to lows. So it's saying expect volatility ahead. Some analysts say that Bitcoin's current range between 29 and 30,000 could be breached in the coming weeks, and the asset could be more volatile. We caution that this current reduction in volatility risks turning into an explosion in the near term, potentially setting off a momentum for a few days or weeks. So that's what the top analysts are saying. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Go into CoinDesk, like I say. I'll leave a link in the description below, and you can have a look at that yourself if you want to look at it into more detail. We'll have a look at the Bitcoin charts next. Right, higher time frame analysis. We've got Bitcoin on the weekly to start. We'll move outside in, so higher time frame analysis. When in doubt, zoom out, and that's exactly what we're doing. And I've built in some areas here, which is the 2017 all-time high. That's going to act as quite a lot of additional weight as far as support's concerned going forward, and we would expect quite a lot of buying power at this 2017 all-time high. So I've built in this area here, and the 2017 is $19,684, and I've marked it with this white line here. So that's going to be, there's going to be a lot of buy orders in at this zone here, and also the 200 weekly moving average is going to hold a lot of additional weight here. So if we manage to get the capitulation, and this zone here is the area that we've been talking about quite a lot, if we manage to get a break and a close below this, we're likely to come back down and test these regions. We've got a region of 24,331, 24,331, which is going to act as a little bit of support, but personally, in my opinion, there's not much there, and I think that we'll be looking down to test the all-time high and the 200 weekly moving average. So there's going to be a lot of buying power here. Does that mean that it can't shoot below that? Initially, it's probably likely that we're going to get the buy orders, come back, retest, and if we don't get any strength in the market at these zones here, we'll be looking to come back and test here. So there's a possibility that if we do get a bit of strength, we come back, get failure from these levels, come back, double bottom, and that could see the market rally again. And ultimately, what we'll be looking at in the longer time frame, if we do get the long bear market or crypto winter, is a huge accumulation phase similar to this. So we're not going to be trading downwards like that. We can't trade downwards like that because there's not enough room to, and we will see more downside. We're more than likely to see more downside, but what the bears have got to do for us to see that downside is they have to eat up the buy orders. So where I said there's going to be a lot of buy orders here, there's going to be a lot of buy orders here, what that's likely to do is push price action back up to come and retest these levels, and then the bears can have another crack at it and see if they can eat up some more buy orders. So that's exactly what's happening here, and this is the level that we've been talking about for some time on the channel, and this level's 28,865. If we get a break and a close below the 28,865 on the weekly, we're likely to come back and retest these. So that's the weekly chart. I just want to show you a couple of additional things on here. I'm going to put a volume weighted indicator on there, the VRVP indicator, and we'll be able to see this area here, signaled by the red line. On this chart is the most area of traded volume. So this is where the most volume is being traded, and that's represented by this massive accumulation that's happened back here. So if you look at the time frame from this, which is 14th of August to 9th of November, and you compare that to the 9th of November to the 30th of May, there's a lot longer period there, and that's why there's a lot more trade and volume happened during these accumulation areas here. Another thing, we could stick on a Fibonacci, see if that's telling us anything. Swing low to swing high. And overall, when you look at it on the macro scale, we are making higher lows, higher highs. On the macro scale, we are bullish still, but you can see that we're at an area. This is why we've got a lot of support at this area. This is the weekly 0.618 golden Fibonacci area, the exact area that we're on at the moment, the 618. So this is where the area is holding. This is what I mentioned with the bears. To push price below this level, I've got to keep accumulating and eating up all the buy orders before ultimately it falls through. So you're walking on ice, you fall through, you come back, you try and get out, and you've either got a chance to get out or you're going to fail and go back down again. So the bears have got to do this over a period of time. They can't just shoot it. When they shoot it down, you get the big capitulation, and then the market tends to have a bit of a short-term reversal. So if they manage to shoot it down quickly and get through all these buy orders, then that would be quite likely not a V-shaped recovery, but it'd be certainly a dead cat bounce, or come back at least bare minimum to test these areas here. So that's Bitcoin on the weekly. We'll have a quick look on the daily and see if we can see any additional clues as to what price action is going to do next on that time frame. Right. I mean, it is a bearish pattern. You've come down, you're trading in a wedge, a triangle, and when you trade in these triangles, when you've made a base, a flat base, the likeliness is, firstly, that this area, the buy orders are going to get eaten, the buy orders are going to get eaten, the buy orders are going to get eaten, and then you fall through. That's more likely, and it's following a downtrend as well, so chances are that we are likely to come back and test these levels as far as this pattern's concerned. You see the difference between when you're coming back and keep testing these areas here compared to these areas here. You've got an actual trend line on here, so that is a different price, that is a different price, that is a different price, that is a different price. Some people have their trend lines drawn like that, some people have them drawn like that, whereas this is a constant price. That's a constant price. So the technical analysis has shown us that we are likely to move to the downside. Doesn't mean that we can't move to the upside, but if we are looking for a bit of a relief, there's signals that price is going to tell us that. So one thing that I'd be looking for is a breakout of this wedge to the upside, and not just a breakout. I'd want the break, confirmation, and then I'd want a close above this area here. So I'd want to close above this area here, and then we can try looking to retest previous swing lows signaled by this area here. Right, so that's Bitcoin, guys. We'll have a look at Luna 2.0 next. Terra 2.0, or Luna Terra 2.0. You all know what's happened to Luna. It looked like a bit of a Ponzi scheme. We'll have a quick look at the charts actually, and you see exactly what happened to Luna. Stick it on the weekly, and that happened to Luna. So we know that it got depegged from its algorithmically pegged stablecoin, UST, and it completely failed, and we had this huge sell-off down to zero. So it's currently trading at 0.000136686, and it was trading at an all-time high of $119. So that's what can happen if you don't apply good risk management and have a diversified, well-managed portfolio. So even top projects like Luna can do this. So it's basically saying that there's going to be a snapshot expected this week. Here's how the new Luna is going to be distributed. The supply of tokens on the new blockchain is going to be just over 116 million, the developers have said. So what they're going to do is they're going to hard fork Luna, and they're going to take a snapshot at a period in time before it got depegged from its algorithmically backed stablecoin, and they're going to basically start over from that period. Their tokens are going to be distributed over a period of time. Dirk One's saying that there's lots of exchanges that are going to be on board. We know that the Binance exchange is on board. He's saying Kraken's going to endeavour to support the new wider Terra Money update and the new 2.0 token airdrop. He's saying the new token is going to be called Luna 2. Okay, so a snapshot of the Terra blockchain is expected to take place later this week ahead of the launch of Terra 2.0, a so-called revival of the Terra ecosystem following the implosion of the Terra USD UST, which is the ticker, algorithmically backed stablecoin earlier this month. The revival plan is now moving forward after the conclusion Wednesday of a vote among network validators with a 65% approval rate. So they've got the majority consensus, and that's going to go ahead. Investors who held over 10,000 Luna tokens before UST's implosion will receive the new tokens periodically to prevent immediate selling. So if they got them all at once and they didn't believe in the project, they wanted to recoup some of their money, they would just sell the whole tokens, and then Luna 2.0 would have a higher probability of crashing straight away. So periodically they're going to release them to their investors. Over 30% of the tokens will be unlocked initially, and the remaining 70% is going to be released over a 2-year period. New tokens are going to be distributed after 6 months to such holders. So wallets with more than 1 million Luna or UST prior to UST's depegging from the dollar would have to wait more than a year before receiving any tokens at all, with a 4-year vesting period thereafter according to the revival plan. So a snapshot meaning that a recording of the state of the blockchain at a specific point in time will allow Terra to send the newly issued Luna tokens to holders of the old Luna. So this is, in theory, allow old holders to regain some of their lost investment value while incentivizing usage of the new blockchain. So the snapshot for Terra 2.0 is expected on Thursday, Going by block chop times, the post snapshot block 7,790,000 could happen as soon as the 26th of May 2022. So we've gone past that date and it hasn't happened as yet, so any time now. Terra developers said in a post on Tuesday, so the supply at Genesis is considerably lower than anyone's anticipating, closing at 116.7 million, rising to 182 million after a year. So they're added, addressing community concern about a highly inflated lunar supply. If you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to also leave the link in the description below, and if you want to read further onto this, you can. What I want to do is, if you can leave in the comments, guys, if there was anyone of you invested in Luna, let us know how much you invested Luna at, so what price you got in, and whether you managed to sell before the massive crash. Let us know, guys, in the comments. We'll have a look at the altcoin requests next by the community, but before we do that, if you could give us a like, a subscribe, guys. If you like our content, subscribe to the channel. We're very new. We're getting lots and lots and lots of comments on our channel, so if you do like it, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell. We're going to be doing emergency updates as well as our new channel schedule, and thanks for the support. Right, community analysis, and shout outs first from some of the guys that have been commenting on our content, some of the guys that have been following us and supporting us. Firstly, Rents in our Share It community. We've got the Share It on the BBS community here. Very good. I'll leave a link in the description below if you wanted to join that. We've got Hisler Joe, we've got Z, we've got Nicole123, we've got the XRP Queen from our Twitter community, and we've got Banana Man, who puts regular comments on our YouTube. So thank you to all of you guys. We've got some additional shout outs from our Share It community. Those guys that I've just previously mentioned have requested some altcoins, which I'll go over shortly, but we've got some additional shout outs for people that like our content and comment on that. So we've got AJ1122 from the Share It community, Adil 007, Memo12, and Amir0099. So thanks, guys, thanks for all your support, and we're going to have a look at some altcoin analysis now. Starting with Arweave, and Rents, Hisler Joe, and Z have asked for Arweave, so we get a lot of requests for Arweave, and we're possibly going to cover that on the next altcoin overdrive, which is on Monday, so keep your eye out for that. We're currently holding support at the moment on Arweave at 1324. It's made its all-time low on the Binance chart, certainly, of $6.67, just a little bit above, $7.16, and we made all-time highs of $91.29. So we're in a downtrend at the moment, signaled by lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and we're continuing a path down. We're at a point of decision now on this support line, and we're either going to break through, test the previous low at $7.16, and then come back and see if we can gain any strength. But as far as dollar cost averaging is concerned, Arweave's at pretty good level at these, so incremental small amounts at these lower levels to bring your average down. Not financial advice, is something that I always look at doing. Laddering in is a lot more powerful, because if you get the ultimate down capitulation, you can take advantage of that and bring your average down even further. So that's Arweave. I'll have a quick look at the tokenomics on Arweave, and remember, guys, well-balanced portfolio is the main thing, it's the key, and although Arweave's a very good project, it should be representing a smaller amount of your portfolio in comparison to safer assets such as Bitcoin and dollars. So you see it's ranked, what's it ranked at? It's ranked 80th. and it's got a total supply of 64,598,643, max supply of 66 million, and a circulative supply of 50 million. So we've got about 3/4 in circulative supply, and the rest are going to be unlocked. So Arweave's a data storage blockchain, and it stores data permanently on that blockchain. So it's something where they're saying that they can rewrite history, or history can't be rewritten because things that are full and transparent on the blockchain can't be altered. So that's one of the things that they say on their website. So that's Arweave. We'll have a look at PYR next. And the thing with these projects is there's not much analysis to go down. We've only had, on a weekly time frame, on a higher time frame, we've only had this upside, and the rest has been a downtrend. So we're currently testing the lows at the moment, and that's represented by $2.97, currently trading at $4.08. So again, dollar cost averaging it incrementally at these levels, but you've got to believe in the project. I mean, if we have a look at PYR, it's quite a relatively recent new project, and if you have a quick look at the tokenomics, we'll see. So this would be a small amount of your portfolio if you were applying good risk management. Got circulative supply of 23,897,000, maximum supply 50 million, so not even half of the tokens have been unlocked on this yet. So find out when the unlocks are, find out what the tokenomics is, and when the unlocks do happen, because when they do happen you can take advantage of the lower prices, because you end up getting sell-offs when the tokens are released, and it floods the market, and you do get lower prices. So if I was looking at Vulcan Forge, I'd be doing a bit more research. I've seen some of the graphics, I've seen some of the gameplay, I've seen some of the metaverse play, and it does look very good. However, you still need to apply good risk management. Can it last? I can't comment on that. You guys can look at that yourselves. But I mean, from what I've seen from Vulcan Forge, it's a good one. It's just, what do we want to pay for it, and how cheap can we get it? That's what we should be looking for, and applying good risk management, small percentage of the portfolio against higher risk assets, and just accumulate incremental levels, because ultimately we don't know how low it's going to go. It hasn't stood the test of time yet, basically, is what I'm saying. But it looks like a good project. Flux. Same again with Flux. Have a look at the about 50%, just over 50% circulated supply in comparison to the total supply. I'm not too sure about Flux, so I don't really know too much about this. So this was requested by Nicole123. Let me know exactly what it is and what it is that you've seen. As far as the technicals are concerned, we're currently making lows. So as far as I'm not sure when this is released, whether it was launched on the Binance, and how long it was on the decentralized exchanges before Binance. I can only just go by this, but we're currently bearish, so what we're likely to do is come back and test this area here. If we have made a base, come back, test this area here, observe at this area. If we do get any volume, we'll be likely to come back and test these areas. So that's 129. It's currently trading at 65 cents. So it's currently trading at 65 cents, and yeah, that's the level we don't want to break and close below. Break and close below 56 cents, then who knows where we're going to go, because we've got nothing to go by. I mean, we can put a fib extension on there. You've got the 1272 level sitting at 16 cents. So that's a huge drop. That's from the previous swing high to the swing low. I mean, if you do it from that swing high to that swing low, has come back, bounced off the 1618. So coming back test levels of $1.14. It's quite likely if we do manage to get the bounce there. So it's quite difficult with analysis when you haven't actually made those lows before. You can do fib extensions, and if other traders are trading fib extension levels and looking at the same levels, then price action may make a sticking point there, but it's a lot more difficult when it hasn't got longer term price analysis to go by. So another one that hasn't standed the test of time, and we hope these projects do stand the test of time, but again, applying good risk management in these areas is just common sense really. XRP Queen, let's have a look at XRP. That's bled quite a lot. Highs of 196, and we've built in this level of support here. It's bounced off 37 cents and lows of 24 cents. You can see it coincides with this area here. So if we get any buying pressure on XRP, a huge volume candle, stochastics are certainly oversold on the weekly, but they can stay oversold for a number of weeks, as you can see in these areas here. So it's highly likely, certainly if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, that we'll be coming back and testing these lower levels. But if we do manage to get that bounce, we get a higher close candle, we can be looking at testing the regions of 58. You've got this that's building up now as well, the 200 weekly moving average, which will probably act as additional confluence. So that's XRP. Last one, Nexo. No analysis to go by here. Let's go on a smaller time frame, daily. Right, we need to see if this is actually making a base here. We haven't got enough analysis to go by, so what's it made? Highs on the launch of Binance, $5. And then we had this level built up here. Didn't manage to come back and retest, and we're either in an accumulation phase, or depending on what Bitcoin does and the rest of the market, it's seeing if this level holds here. So as a dollar cost average in, small incremental amounts with a small percentage of your portfolio, if it's something that you believe in. I don't know anything about this one, but who knows? You can come back and test these areas and then come back down, see what price action does, whether it makes a double bottom here and gets a bit of volume behind it, whether the market reverses, has a dead cat bounce, or something in the market happens to push it back up. You look at to test the levels of 185 as the next resistance point. So that's Nexo. It's a risky one. Let's have a quick look on CoinGecko. 78 in market cap, so it's 78th. It's got 560 million in supply and 1 billion max supply, total supply. Fully diluted valuation of 1.243 billion, trading volume 7 million in the last 24 hours. You've got a market cap 696,000. So it's not as bad as what the chart says. It's just there's nothing to go by there, unfortunately. So NFT giveaway next. NFT giveaway next, and the way that this is going to work, guys, is when we hit 750 subscribers, we're going to be giving away this one, Sugar Shay, Far Out Floating, and when we hit 30 comments in this video, 30 comments, and what you've got to do is you've got a comment saying I've just subscribed if you've just subscribed, or I'm already a subscriber if you're already a subscriber. And what we're going to do is when we hit 30, we're going to be giving away 2 of these. Let us know which one it is that you want. So you've got Crypto Bunny 251 there with the gun, Crypto Bunny 252, 248, Crypto Bunny 249, and Crypto Bunny 253, and Baby Spider-Man. So that's how the giveaway is going to work, guys. Stick the comments below, and then we'll know that you've subscribed, or if you're already a subscriber, and who you are, and we'll come back and we'll make sure that we respond to every single comment on there as well, guys. That's the NFT giveaway. So we hope you like the show. We've got the gaming show tomorrow, Game to Earn, so tune into that tomorrow. That's at 4 o'clock, and tomorrow we're going to be going over Splinterlands. We're going to be talking about tokenomics on Splinterlands. We'll be looking at the gameplay. We'll be looking at things that are happening this year on there, on the white paper. So stay tuned for that, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Many thanks. Bye now.